Ricardo, I can see your face. Open your camera, please. There you go. Okay. Did you do the exercises from Raymond Murphy? Ricardo?
No, I did the ones in the book.
Yeah, but you have to do the ones in the book that we already corrected them. And well, which one did you do? The reading from the book? The reading from the book?
Yes, and the page 42.
Page 42. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's we correct it. I'm going to show this. Wait a minute, please. I am a little messed up with the, okay, here we go. So on page, we did the exercises from page 40, okay? Number 6. And it
Yes.
is A, B, and A, right? But what about the reading, Ricardo? Did you do the reading?
Yes.
Okay, so what were your answers? Let's see. Number 1, I think it was done. Right?
D, I have D.
D, yeah. What about number 2? What is the writer's main purpose in the second paragraph?
A.
Yeah, read it.
To provide an idea of what the museum contains.
Yeah. What about number 3? What is Carol Cherry's attitude to the failed products?
Letter D.
No.
No.
No. Letter B. Read it.
D. Oh. She has sympathy for the people who invented them.
Right. Okay. Number 4. According to the writer, Mr. McMuth failed to realize that his collection would.
B.
No.
No.
C. Read C.
C in number 4.
Yes.
Oh yes, I have.
You have
C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So read it. Read it. Sorry.
Contain so many failed products.
Okay. Number 5. Letter. According to the writer, what is remarkable about the product developers who visit GFA?
Here I have C.
No.
No.
It's B. B.
B. Okay.
Read it.
The lack of attention paid to previous failures.
And number 6, what point is the writer making in the last paragraph?
B.
No.
No.
C. Read it.
That people are afraid to talk about failure.
Failure. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to remember the thing about ing forms, okay? Because I think it is important. Maybe you didn't do the exercise, but you have to do it. Okay, you have to do it because it is necessary. Okay, let's see. Where is it? Here. I'm going to share it for you. Exercise 56, verb plus ing or to. We know most of the verbs that are followed by ing and the verbs that are followed by to. But there are some verbs that can be followed by ing or to, but they have a difference in meaning. All right. In here, you have the examples. I remember doing something, I did it, and now I remember this. Yeah. I know I locked the door. I clearly remember locking it. For example, what do you remember doing today? Tell me one thing that you remember doing today. For example, yes,
I clearly remember doing the dishes.
You remember doing the dishes, all right. Okay, what about you, Ricardo?
I remember watching the European Cup.
You remember watching. When you say something that the other person says that, no, you didn't do that, You say, no, yeah, I remember doing that. For example, see,
Oh.
for example, if I tell you, I knew that you were, I don't know, I knew that you were studying and you didn't watch the game today. And you say, no, I remember watching the games. Remember watching. I did it and I remember it. Okay. Now, what happens with do? I remember to do something. I remember that I had to do something. So I did it. I remember that I had to do it. You don't remember doing it. You remember that you had to do it. For example, I remember to lock the door, but I forgot to shut the window. Did you remember anything that you did finally? For example, I remember that I remember to send you the link a little bit late, but I remember to send it to you. Okay. Anything that you remember to do?
Yes. This morning I remember to throw the garbage.
Throw. I
Throw.
remembered. Yeah,
To
you
throw,
remember
sorry.
to throw the
I
garbage.
remembered to throw the garbage.
Right. Did you remember to do anything, Camila?
Yes, I remember to buy my cat's food,
Yeah.
but I didn't do it.
You remember to do it, but you didn't do it in the end. Okay. Okay. Regret. You regret doing something. So you regret something. I did it, and now I am sorry about it. Yeah. Or you remember not doing it, and then you're sorry. Yeah. For example, do you regret not going to college? For example, the other time I told you, I regret not studying mathematics when I was in school. I hated mathematics, but now I regret it. I regret not studying mathematics. Yeah. But I regret to say, I regret to tell you, or I regret to inform you, it means that when you regret that, it's because you are sorry that you have to say that. Okay. Usually when you give a bad news, you usually say that. I regret to tell you that, I don't know, that you got a 1.5 in your test. Okay, I regret to tell you that. Okay, that's bad news. Then you have go on doing and go on to do, meaning you go on doing something, you continue doing it. But you go on to do something, you go on to do something different, to do something new. Yeah. After discussing the economy, the president went on to talk about foreign policy. Yeah, he was talking about economy, but then he went on to talk about foreign policy, right? That's the idea. You change, you go on doing, you go on talking about the same thing, but you go on to talk about a different thing. That's the difference, okay? We use the following verbs with ing or to, no difference in meaning. Okay, you can say, I begin to talk, I begin talking. I start to do and I start doing. I continue to work and continue working. And there is no difference in meaning in here. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Same case with stop. I stop smoking. That means that you do it definitely. But you stop to smoke. That means that you were doing something and then you stop. For example, I was reading probably. So then I stopped to smoke a cigarette because I was tired. Yeah, but when I say I stopped smoking, that means that you did it definitely. Okay, you won't do it again. Okay, so that's the idea in this. Let's do some of the exercises. They denied stealing the money. Did we do this one or not? I think we did or not. Okay, let's see anyway. Ricardo, number 2.
Yes, we did this the last week.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I remember. So the homework was this one. Have to try 2 and try ing. Well, but I think we're going to lose too much time. So we'd better continue, right? Yeah, okay. The ones that were at the end, I remember that it was not prefer, would rather this one. We also talked about it, okay? That after a preposition, you have to use an ing form, okay? Okay, so we're done with this. So let's continue with the homework that you had. It was page 42. Right? Page 42. What did we have? What did we have to do in this? You had to do the last part, exercise 6, right? This one? Ricardo? Exercise
Yes.
6. Right, okay. So number 1, complete the questions with the correct form of the verb in brackets. Then ask and answer them with a partner, okay? So, how is number 1, Ricardo?
Is there anything you feel you should have achieved?
Right, should have achieved. Okay. Camila, did you do that one? No? Okay, so Ricardo, continue. Number 2.
What did you have to do that you hated doing at school?
Right, okay. Number 3.
Which of your dreams do you think might come true?
Right.
I didn't.
You did
I think this is correct.
right. Might come true.
In the way, huh?
What is the problem with that? What is the problem with that?
Nothing.
Why did you
I use
doubt?
the same words.
Yeah, might come true.
Oh, for
Yeah, because might
yes.
is a modal. Modal in the present, you have to use the infinitive. Might come. Yeah, and it's present. You can't go
No,
with.
I have a doubt. I have a doubt. Number 4.
Yeah. Okay. Try to do it.
Is there anything that you needn't have done or didn't need to do?
Both are correct. Yes, both are correct.
Oh, I wrote the 2 ways, but I was not sure about the
You can say, is there
the
anything that you
correct
didn't
one.
need to do that you have done recently? Or is there anything that you didn't have done that you have done recently? Both are correct. Okay. Number 5.
Oh, okay, thank you. What do you think your parents could have done differently when you were a child?
That's right. Good. And number 6.
And the last one, how do you think your teachers must have seen you when you were in primary school?
Right. Pretty good. Good, Ricardo. We have to go a little bit deeper in that part, in modals. Okay. Remember that you have 2 types of using modals. First, the modal in the present, in which you use the modal as the infinitive of the verb without to. You have to remember that. I can go, I must go, I should go, I might go, would go, etc. Always the verb in the infinitive without to. Yeah. And then if you want to talk about past and you want to use the modal in the past, you have to use the modal, for example, must, can, could, plus have, and the participle. For example, must have done, must have gone, must have hated, must have worked. So you have to use the modal, should or must or could or any modal, plus have, plus participle. And when you use that is when you are talking about an idea that happened before. Yeah. For example, I am supposing, for example, I say, why aren't they here? Why aren't they here at this moment? So you can, say they must have gone to another place. They must have gone to another place. I am deducting something, but I am deducting something about the past, before. right? So they must have gone to another place. That's why they are not here. All right. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you some exercises. Let's see. Okay, here you have some modal perfect in the past with the function. For example, must have plus past participle is a logical conclusion on a past event. For example, Peter has arrived late. He must have been in a traffic jam. I'm having a conclusion about something that happened before. But see the structure? Must plus have plus past participle. Yeah. Another one in the past. Yeah. It's also the action on a past event. For example, Joe may or might have taken the wrong train. That is why he's not here. Right? But this is a remote possibility. May and might are remote possibilities. They're possibilities, but they're not close possibilities. They are remote possibilities. What can you use if the possibility is closer? Ricardo, what modal do you have to use if the possibility is closer?
May.
No. May is also remote.
Could.
Could or can. Can is a closer one. Can. And in that case,
I thought
only in the
between
present.
may and might. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Then, for example, could have past participle. Possibility to do something gone unfulfilled. You could have played better. In the end, you played bad. But you could have played better. Okay, you are, in that case, you are talking about a possibility of something you didn't do. Then you have would have plus past participle. Desire to do something, but impossibility to do it for external causes. I would have visited you, but I forgot your address. I would have visited, but I couldn't. So you had the desire to do it, but it was impossible for some reason. Then you have should or ought to plus have plus past participle. Lament on something that should have been done. For example, you should or you ought to have warned me earlier, but you didn't do it. Yeah, it's a lament on something that should have been done. Shouldn't have plus past participle. Critic on something that should have happened. Shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have told them. Okay. For example, in my case, personally, my daughter is now in danger of having COVID-19. Right? She's in danger of that. Why? Because her nana, went to work and she was with COVID-19. She shouldn't have gone to work that day. Yeah, now I am lamenting or criticizing what she did. She shouldn't have gone, but she went. So in the end, my daughter became a close, how do you call it? Close danger.
Contact.
Close contact, yeah. So she became a close contact. Now she has in a quarantine now. She's in a quarantine. Although she's not having any problems, but she's in a quarantine because she was close contact. See? I am lamenting about that. I am criticizing her nana, right? Her nanny. Okay, then didn't have plus past participle. Something that wasn't necessary doing. You needn't have bought it. This is a very particular case in which need is used as an auxiliary verb, as a modal verb. Okay, need normally act as a regular verb. So you say you don't need to do or you didn't need to do. but you can also use it as a modal, and then you can make it negative. You didn't have bought it. Okay, so this is kind of modal verbs in the past. What is the difference? Yes, any question?
Need is a modal verb?
Yes, it can be a modal
okay.
verb too. It is a normal verb, a regular verb, but sometimes it can work as a modal verb. In this case, it's working as a modal verb. You can say it, you didn't have bought it, or you didn't need to buy it. It's the same idea. You didn't need to buy it. No tenías que comprarlo. You didn't need to buy it. You didn't have bought it. No necesitabas comprarlo. That's the idea, one or the other, all right? It's kind of the same thing. Okay, so these are modal verbs, but in the past. When you want to talk about modal in the past, you have to use it with have and the participle. All right, remember that. Must, can, could, would, needn't, have, and then a participle. Worked, smoked, gone, driven, etc. Yeah, okay. How do you say, for example, Ricardo, tuviste un accidente hoy día, no deberías haber manejado tú porque eres inexperto?
You had an accident, so you shouldn't have driven today.
Eres muy inexperto todavía. Because, could you, Ricardo? Porque eres muy inexperto todavía.
And because you are inexpert.
No, unexperienced.
Unexperienced.
You are too
Sorry,
inexperienced
I
for
have
that.
the word.
Yeah. Camila, ellos deben haber llegado tarde porque ellos deben haber llegado tarde porque perdieron el tren.
They must have been arrived late.
Or been or arrived. One or the other. They must have been late or they must have arrived late. Not being arrived. You are using two participles in there.
They must have arrived late because what was the?
Porque perdieron el tren.
Because they lost the train.
Yeah, because they lost the train. Okay. Tuviste una fiesta muy buena, podrías haberme invitado, Macarena. You open your microphone, Macarena.
Can you repeat, please?
Tuviste una fiesta muy buena, podrías haberme invitado.
You can.
Primero, tuviste una fiesta muy buena. How do you say that?
You give up of the party.
You had a very good party. You had a very good party. Podrías haberme invitado. Is a possibility? No.
No?
No. Podrías, no deberías. Podrías.
Can you or could you?
Yeah, but it's past tense. Past tense.
Could you?
You could
Or
have.
not?
You could have invited me. You could. Subject, verb. You could have invited me. You had a very good party. You could have invited me. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we have this, and now I'm going to, let's see. I want to show you other exercises with modal verbs. Wait a minute, please. Here you have some grammar, yeah, with modal verbs. You have to choose the correct answer, okay? In here, present and past modals, okay? Camila, number 1, it says he French. His French is terrible.
Teacher,
Yes?
you are sharing your screen or not? Or we
I'm
are
not sharing.
no.
Let's see. Wait. Yeah, but it says stop share. Are you watching now?
I am seeing units 60 preposition in 4 about etc. and ing.
How can I do this? Stop share. Okay. This is it. Okay, wait. Now come in. Yeah, there you go. Choose the correct answer. He French. His French is terrible. You have all these possibilities. You tell me what is the right one.
He can be.
It can't be. We're going to accept your possibilities, right? And then we check. Number 2, Ricardo. The kids are calm today. They
Must be.
must be tired. Okay. Number 3, Macarena. Although Leila was very hungry, she didn't eat very much. She
Hold on.
which one? Couldn't have liked, could have liked, can't like.
Couldn't have liked.
Couldn't have liked. Camila. The phone is ringing. It Mary. She promised she would call.
It's must be.
Must be Mary. She promised she would call. The next one. Read it complete, Ricardo.
He had to stop.
But complete.
John had a terrible accident. He had to stop when the traffic light
were red. Had to
Yeah.
stop. Yeah.
had to stop.
Okay. Yeah. Macarena. The next one.
I don't know why she got so many bad grades.
Sorry? Yeah.
She might be lazy studying.
Okay. Might be. Yeah.
Might
okay.
be.
Right. Camila.
I didn't know you needed help. You should have told me.
Right. Ricardo.
I am so tired. I need some rest. I think I should take a week off.
All right. Let's see. Macarena.
He could have run so fast when he was young.
And finally, Camila.
Nancy. Can't go on holiday. I have just met her in the street.
Let's see. Check answers. One, two, three, wrong. The first one, he can't be French. His French is terrible. The kids are calm today. They must be tired. Although Layla was very hungry, she didn't eat very much. She couldn't have liked the food. The phone is ringing. It must be Mary. She promised she would call. John had a terrible accident. He had to stop when the traffic lights were red. I don't know why she got so many bad grades. She might be lazy studying. This is the one that was correct. I don't know why she got so many. She might have been lazy studying in here because they're talking in the past. I don't know where she got so many bad grades. So it might have been a lazy studying. I didn't know you needed help. You should have told me. That's right. I'm so tired. I need some rest. I think I should take a week off. He so fast when he was young. He could run so fast when he was young because it's simple. Yeah. Yeah. It's an ability or possibility. And Nancy can go on holiday. Nancy can't have gone on holiday. Yeah, I have just met her in the street. Okay, so you have some other pages that you have to start using, all right, in order to use the modal verbs. Yeah. Okay, any questions so far? I don't know if I had another one here. I think I had another page that I can't see it now. No, it was here, grammar exercise, present and past modal. I had the explanation. I'm going to look for it. Wait a minute. Okay, oops. There is one which is very good. Explanation. Let's see if this one is the one. No, this is not the one that I was looking for. It's the same page in which we did the exercises, but it's a very good page to explain. It says here, modals in the present and past. Generally speaking, modals in the past have the following form. Modal plus have plus past participle. Present, you should see a doctor. Past, you should have seen a doctor. You should see now, you should have seen it before, seen him before, okay? Then, except for modals that express obligation, ability, and lack of necessity. Obligation, present, I must, I have to work hard. Past, I had to work. This, in this case, obligation, ability, and lack of necessity, you can use this structure. Modal have past participle. You only use obligation, must or have to, and the past is had to. It's not a compound form. Ability, present, I can run. Past, I could run. Okay. But if you're talking about a possibility like in a different way that you should have run faster, you have to say, right? A lack of necessity, you don't have to, needn't take your umbrella. Past, you didn't have to, you didn't need to take your umbrella. Okay. But you can also, here you can also use a perfect form. You didn't have taken. You can say that. You needn't have taken. You can also say that. Okay. In here you have, for example, obligation. You must have to stop when the traffic lights are red. You had to stop. You should see a doctor. You should have seen, etc. You must smoke. You mustn't have smoke there. Okay. So you have this page if you want to practice or study this. All right. Okay, so let's stop with this and continue working with the book now. We're going to go into page. I also have some other pages like modals. Do you think it's enough with modals? Is it clear for you or not? Are you clear with the modals? Yes. Okay, so as to continue with the rest. Okay, so let's go into page number 43 in your book. 43 in your book, please. Ready? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it says here, collaborative task and discussion. We're going to, remember that we were working with collaborative task. What was collaborative task, Ricardo? In a speaking test. What is collaborative task in a speaking test? Open your microphone.
A task in which there's a main topic and some small topics around that you have to discuss with your partner and come to an agreement at the end.
Yeah, okay. And you have to work together. What is the idea of collaborating? That you can ask him questions, or you can ask follow-up questions so as not to stop, because if you answer yes, no collaboration in the conversation in there. Okay, but also now we're going to see the discussion. So please go to page 205. Page 205 in your book. Okay, I don't know if I have it in here. Okay, are you there? 205. Yeah. In here you have the collaborative task. For example, read that please, Camila. What is being tested?
Part 3. Part 3 test your ability to negotiate with the other candidate to reach a decision. You will be expected to give your opinions and evaluate ideas, as well as listen and respond to your partner's ideas.
Okay, what do you have to do? Macarena, read that. Your microphone. Yeah?
Stop.
What do you have to do?
What do you have to do?
Uh-huh.
Work with the other candidate to discuss something together.
Yeah.
The examiner gives you both the first part of the task on a task sheet with some idea to discuss.
Discuss. Yeah.
This is also writing on the page, and you have some time to look at it before you speak. The task may involve solving a problem, negotiating,
Uh-huh.
agreeing and disagreeing, discuss the task.
Remember, agreeing and disagreeing.
Agreeing and disagreeing, discuss the task with the other candidate for 2 to 3 minutes. The examiner will then give you another instruction asking you to discuss something related to the topic.
Discuss. Something
Related to the topic and to make a decision together. You have about a minute for this.
All right. This is what you have to do. Now, what is the strategy, Ricardo? Read the strategy.
And the strategy first. 1. Read and listen carefully to the instructions. Use the time given to look at the task on the sheet. Ask for clarification if you do not understand. And 2. You should discuss each of the prompts in some detail, but don't spend too long on any one idea. 3. One of you should start the discussion. Then take turns to give your opinions, agree, disagree, etc. 4. Turn-taking skills are important. Avoid dominating the discussion or interrupting rudely. It is important to involve and encourage your partner and follow up on what they say.
Okay, wait. This is very important, okay? When you are in that type of exam, it is very important not dominate. That is to say, you have to allow the other person to say his or her ideas. You are not the only one who can talk. Okay, so you have to share the conversation. Okay, so you have to take turns. Yeah, not monopolize the conversation. Okay, Camila, continue reading 5, 6, and 7, please. Open your microphone.
5. Explain things in a different way if you can't think of a word or phrase and don't leave long pauses. Use words such as right or okay to fill the gaps. 6. Try to use a range of functional language, such as asking for and reacting to opinions, agreeing and disagreeing. Suggesting, speculation, opening
No,
and summarizing.
speculating, suggesting, speculating,
Suggesting, speculating, opening and
speculating.
speculating, opening and summarizing the discussion.
Okay, this is important too. Okay, so you have to learn certain words or vocabulary that you have to know. For example, how to agree, how to disagree. No, I don't think so. Or yes, I totally agree with you, for example. Oh, sure. Reacting to opinions, for example. Okay, or speculating. Oh, he must be a very, obsessive person, etc. You kind of speculate, right? Yeah, number 7.
You should be prepared to compromise in the second part of the task in order to reach a decision.
All right. Now, part 4, the discussion. Okay, what is being tested, Ricardo?
In part 4,
Yes, what is being tested?
what is being tested? Part 4 gives you the opportunity to show the examiner that you can discuss a topic in more depth, develop and expand your ideas and justify your opinions.
All right, look at that. At the beginning, you are sharing the conversation and you are complementing what the other person is saying. You are giving certain things. But in this part, in the discussion, you have to give your own opinions and you have to go deeper in the discussion, right? You have to develop and expand your ideas. Not very if you don't develop or you don't expand your ideas, that means that you are not getting a good grade. For that reason, it's so important, okay? When you have the discussion in the next test that we're going to have, the speaking test, you have to do this. If we have this part, you will have to make a collaborative task and also a discussion. So you will have to complete your ideas, go deeper in your ideas, develop and expand the information, right? Okay, what do you have to do, Macarena? Read that, please.
In this part of the test, the examiner asks you both questions which develop the topic in part 3 and may lead to a more general discussion. You might add to what the other candidate has said or disagree with their ideas.
Their ideas.
Their ideas.
Yeah.
The discussion will last for around 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Minutes.
All right. The strategy, Camila. What is the strategy?
1. If you don't understand the question, ask the examiner to repeat it.
To repeat
2.
it. Repeat it.
Repeat it. Give
2.
opinions and express your feelings about issues. Give reasons or examples to justify your opinions. 3. Listen to what the other candidate says and ask question or give follow-up comments. 4. Take the opportunity to use a range of language, but don't dominate the discussion.
All right, see? So in the next test, if you have this task, that is to say, this task, collaborative task and discussion, you know what you have to do. Yeah, in this case, it's not like give your own opinion and that's it. You have to collaborate with the other person, and then you have to continue with the discussion and expand your ideas and talk deeper about the topics. Okay, we're going to listen to a kind of collaborative task that is in the book, all right? So let's see. I'm going to stop sharing here. Let's see. No, do it. How can I do this? if I just yeah. Wait a minute, please. Okay, track 14. Okay, listen. Wait a minute. I don't know how to. You can listen, right?
No.
I can, I have the. Wait. No, no, no. I can't find the thing to. I can't find the. I can't find the menu in which I can show you I can share the voice, but I don't know. There is a bar here that, let me stop sharing and I'm, this is, here it is. Yeah. Share computer sound. Now we'll do it. Okay.
Unit 4.
Yeah, now you can
Speaking
listen, right?
focus. Activity
Yes.
2. In my opinion, the reason many people give up a sport or hobby is because of the costs involved.
I agree. It can be very expensive to join a gym, for instance. The monthly costs can be as high as €100 per month, which is too much.
Yes, and then what tends to happen is that people often join with the best of intentions, but then find they don't have time to go often enough to justify the membership fee.
So you're saying lack of time and money are very significant reasons for people giving up sport.
Yes, I believe that goes a long way to explaining why people have to give up.
What about hobbies? Playing an instrument, for example.
I could be wrong, but I imagine many people get demotivated because they realize they're never going to be an amazing pianist or guitar player.
Mhm. I know from my own experience that that's quite common. I gave up the piano after 2 years because I wasn't making enough progress, despite practicing fairly often.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, they were talking and they were, sharing the conversation. It wasn't one person who talks only. Both of them talked. So that is important, okay? Nobody dominated the conversation. Now, if you go back to your book again, it says exercise 4. Can you see exercise 2 in there? Look at the exam task and listen to 2 candidates, Jan and Marisol, doing both parts of the task. Do you agree with their opinions? Let me show you I want to show you the image course book. It is page 43. Let me see. 43. Oh. It isn't here. Can you see, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see it?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, okay. There you go. The question is, why might these things cause people to give up a sport or a hobby? You have all these possibilities: lack of facilities, lack of confidence, lack of time, lack of ability, lack of money. Which one did they mention in here, right? So I want you to do two tasks. The first one, you're going to listen to it again, and you complete this. Complete the phrases the speaker used when justifying an opinion. And listen again and check. For example, in my opinion, many people give up a sport or hobby is because of the costs involved. Yeah. Ricardo, read number 2.
I believe that to explaining why people have to give up.
Camila, number 3.
But I imagine many people get demotivated because they realize they are never going to be an amazing pianist or guitar player.
And the last one, Macarena?
I know from that's quite common.
Quite common. All right. Okay, so which ones do they mention? The question is, why might these things cause people to give up a sport or a hobby? Do they mention all of them? You have lack of facilities, lack of ability, lack of money, lack of time, lack of confidence. Do they mention all of them? And then you complete in here, okay? Let's listen to it again. Wait.
Unit 4. Speaking focus. Activity 2. In my opinion, the reason many people give up a sport or hobby is because of the costs involved.
I agree. It can be very expensive to join a gym, for instance. The monthly costs can be as high as 100 euros per month, which is too much.
Yes, and then what tends to happen is that people often join with the best of intentions, but then find they don't have time to go often enough to justify the membership fee.
So you're saying lack of time and money are very significant reasons for people giving up sport.
Yes, I believe that goes a long way to explaining why people have to give up.
What about hobbies? Playing an instrument, for example.
I could be wrong, but I imagine many people get demotivated because they realize they're never going to be an amazing pianist or guitar player.
Mhm. I know from my own experience that that's quite common. I gave up the piano after 2 years because I wasn't making enough progress, despite practicing fairly often.
All right. Okay, first of all, which of the things I mentioned?
Lack of money and lack of time.
All right. Only those 2?
And then
Lack of money, lack of time. Okay, we all agree that those 2 were present in the conversation, but I think that there was another one. And you have it number 3. But I imagine many people get demotivated because they realize they are never going to be an amazing pianist or guitar player. So
lack of confidence.
Yeah, lack of confidence or lack of ability. Okay, they start working, the only thing that they don't mention is lack of facilities. The other ones were mentioned. Okay, in my opinion, what is the word that they use in there?
The reason why.
Yeah, the reason why many people give up a sport or hobby is because of the costs involved. Number 2.
I miss it.
You missed it? Could anybody get it or not? Macarena, Ricardo, could you? It says, I believe that it goes a long way to explaining why people have to give up. It goes a long way, Okay, number 3.
I could be wrong.
I
But
could
I
be
imagine-
wrong, but I imagine many people get them demotivated because they realize they're never going to be an amazing pianist or guitar player. And the last one?
I know from my own experience.
Yeah, I know from my own experience that that's quite common. That's right. Good. Now, which of the phrases in activity 3 is used by the candidates to introduce a point, to emphasize a point, to give personal evidence, and to speculate without evidence?
I have a question.
Yes.
What does go a long way mean?
It means that it goes a long way, meaning I think it is that it will take a long time to explain this. Yeah. It goes a long way to explaining why people have to give up. Yeah. There are too many reasons. That's the idea. All right. Now, what of the expressions the person uses to introduce a point?
In my opinion,
In my opinion, the reason why, etc. Yes, but to emphasize a point. Number 2, I believe that it goes a long way. Yeah. It's difficult to explain. To give personal evidence,
I know
Oh.
from my
In my
own
personal-
experience.
I know from my own experience. So the last one, to give personal, no, to speculate with evidence, is number 3 then. I could be wrong, but I imagine, etc., etc. Okay. Finally, we're going to listen to another listening. It says, listen to Marisol and Jan answering these questions. Which candidate answered the question well? What are the questions? Read the question number 1, Macarena, please. Read the question number 1 in here.
What do you think is the value of having a
Value.
hobby?
It's the
Value?
value of having a
Value.
hobby. Of having a hobby, yes. Camila,
Sí.
question number 2.
Do you believe playing computer games is a good hobby?
Okay. What do you think is the value of having a hobby? Before starting with the listening, what do you think is the value of having a hobby for you? Do you have a hobby, by the way? Yes, do
Yes.
you, Camila?
Yes.
What hobby do you have?
I like to draw,
Do you like to what?
to draw, to drawings, do drawings.
To draw. To draw, yeah. Okay, and what? And this hobby, what is the value of that hobby for you?
To achieve my talents.
Yeah, okay,
I think I'm good at drawings.
yeah. Okay, good. And what about the rest? Ricardo, do you believe playing computer game is a good hobby?
Yes, of course, of course. That's a good hobby. That's my hobby.
Yeah, I know.
Also-
For that reason, I asked you. But
Yeah.
what is the value for you of that hobby?
To develop new abilities, and in some cases to make new friends in case you play online, and to have a good time in stressful times, perhaps.
All right. Okay. Macarena.
I'm also a
Macarena Slim.
collector.
Sorry.
I'm also a collector, a video game
You
collector.
collect things. You collect things.
Yes.
Like what? What do you collect?
Old video games.
Old video games.
I have a lot.
Bunch of them. Right. What video games do you? For example, mention one that is old.
One, I don't know, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I have
all right.
this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Macarena, do you have a hobby? Do you have a hobby?
My hobby?
Do you have any or not?
Yes.
What? What is your
Maybe
hobby?
it's listen to music.
Listen to music or listening to
Yes.
music. Okay. And what is the value of that hobby for you?
For me, the computer gamer, no.
Yeah, but what is the value of your hobby? For example, you say that your hobby is listening to music. What is the value of that hobby? In what way is good for you? Why do you take that hobby?
When I learn something,
Yeah, okay.
anything, yes.
And Camila, you like to draw. Why did you decide to you said your value is that it developed your ability with that, right? Any other reason why?
Sometimes it's like relaxing activity for me.
Yeah, relaxing activity. Yes, good, good. Okay, usually the people have a hobby. When they have a hobby, normally they relax, they get a relaxation with the hobby, right? For example, like Macarena, I like to listen to music. For example, at night, I fall asleep with my earphones, listening to Beatles songs or other types of songs that I like. And then it relaxes me and then makes me fall asleep, right? And for me, it's a good, for example, when I am driving, I have all my music in Spotify. So I have like several playlists. So when for that reason, I love to drive, for example. I love to drive because when I'm driving, I'm listening to my music and the volume that I want to listen to that music. Because when I am with my wife, we all the time have arguments about that because first of all, she doesn't like my music. So I like the Beatles, I like rock, heavy rock sometimes. So she doesn't like that. So we start, arguing about that. And also she said, turn down the volume, but I can't hear anything I say, And the volume is like 3. With 3, you can't listen to anything. So we have lots of arguments. So in my car, I listen to the music, the volume I want. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, so let's listen to this conversation, and they're going to answer question number one person, and question number 2, the other person. Okay, so we have to decide that. Okay, who answers better? Let's see. Here we go.
Unit 4. Speaking Focus. Activity 5. 1.
I think there is a lot of value in having a hobby. I used to play the piano and now I've stopped, and I regret that. I used to hate practicing for piano exams, but at the same time, I felt a sense of achievement. Perhaps I'd take it up again one day.
2. There's a lot of criticism of computer games, but I think the people that criticize them have never played them. They're often criticized for being too violent and for stopping boys especially from doing other things like going outside and playing football. But I think they can also develop your imagination and even social skills, because often playing them is a shared experience.
Okay. So Jan, answer the first one. What do you think is the value of having a hobby? And the second guy, Jan, no, Marisol answered the first one. And Jan, do you believe playing computer games is a good hobby? Ricardo, according to your idea, who answered better?
Marisol, maybe.
Why?
She gave better reasons, I think.
What about the rest? What do you think?
I disagree.
You disagree? Why, Camila?
Yes, I think Jan's apport more in the conversation and in the answer, because he said 2 points, 2 important points, that it was that kids can develop imagination with video games and have a better skill with socialization. And Marisol only said that her experience by practicing piano.
Good, Camila. Very good. your answer. Yes. In fact, she talks about personal things. Okay. And also, she doesn't answer the question in general. And she repeated the value of having a hobby. While the other guy, Ricardo, you are in there playing computer games. He gives both options. All right. Listen again and try to see what they say. Okay. Listen again.
Unit 4. Speaking Focus. Activity 5. 1.
I think there is a lot of value in having a hobby. I used to play the piano and now I've stopped, and I regret that. I used to hate practicing for piano exams, but at the same time, I felt a sense of achievement. Perhaps I'd take it up again one day.
So she didn't answer the
2.
question.
There's a lot of criticism of computer games, but I think the people that criticize them have never played them. They're often criticized for being too violent and for stopping boys especially from doing other things like going outside and playing football. But I think they can also develop your imagination and even social skills, because often playing them is a shared experience.
See what you said, Ricardo. Yeah. When you mentioned why you liked that hobby, you said because it develops my imagination, and also because you have social skills. You can socialize with other people. So it's what he said. Okay. Now go to page 152, please. 152. And oops, there. This is 152. Let's see. This is 152. Activity. Unit 4, speaking focus. It says here, talk about something together for about 2 minutes. Here are some factors which affect young people's ability to do well at a sport. A question for you to discuss. How might these factors influence a young person's ability to excel at playing sports? Excel meaning being excellent. Excel being excellent. What factors influence? Access to training, natural ability, expectations of teachers, encouragement from family, good facilities. If you think about, for example, Arturo Vidal, what were the factors that made Arturo Vidal an excellent football player, or Alexis Sanchez, for example? What were the factors?
I think it was natural ability and encouragement from family. I think both are connected.
Yeah. Okay. They didn't have good facilities, probably, right? Because in the places where they lived, they didn't have probably a place to play, a good place to play. Maybe they had like a field of land, nothing excellent. Expectations of teachers, probably one or two teachers, but access to training, they didn't have any. So in fact, the two things that helped them and the two factors that helped them were natural ability, because they were prodigies from the moment when they were born, and encouragement from family. Ricardo, and what about, for example, Marcelo Rios? Were the same factors that helped him to become #1 in the world?
No, I don't think the factors were the same.
Yeah. What were the factors?
The first factor is natural ability. Well, that's the same as Arturo.
Yeah.
But he had access to training, good facilities, and I also think that encouragement from family. And if we talk about tennis, you have to have more money to practice that sport.
Yeah.
not like football,
Yeah.
where
You can play in the street.
Yeah, just a ball and a couple of friends.
Yeah, right. Okay, interesting. Okay, you can practice this and probably you can, in order to study this, you can probably write some things and put them this way, like points, all right? And to finish, I'm going to give you the homework. So go to page, the next page in the book, which is 44. Go to page 44, please, and which is the essay. Okay, wait, let's go. Okay. What do you think about this first? How useful are these tips for helping people to achieve more in their lives? Smile more. Never use negative words such as fail or lose. Expect only positive outcomes. Use visualization techniques to imagine yourself succeeding. What do you think are these tips for helping people to achieve more in their lives? What for you is the most important one?
The last one.
Use visualization techniques. Read it, please, Camila.
Use visualization techniques to imagine yourself succeeding.
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 That's right. Okay. Any other? I think you have to be positive in general. Whenever you want to succeed in something, you have to be positive. If you are negative, it's difficult to succeed because usually you start like you yourself getting down, right? No, I can't do that. No, there was you're too young, but there was a cartoon many years ago. It was called Leoncio León y Tristón. Leoncio was very optimistic all the time. And Tristón, he was a hyena, I think. Hyena. So it was kind of, hyenas smile all the time. But his name was Tristón. And he was all the time, oh cielos, Leoncio, qué mala suerte. He was all the time like that. And the lion was all the time trying to get things, And it was very popular in the I would say in the 80s or 70s. Yeah. And Leoncio Leone Tristón, you can see it once if you go into internet, you can see those two guys. And they were very popular. And it was like that. Tristón always failed. Alonso got things because he was very optimistic. Okay, so in here you will have to write. I'm not going to give you for this week, but for this Sleepy Lion, you got it, Camila. Yeah, that was the one.
Yes.
Right. I've never listened to it in English. I imagine it must be funny. Yeah, I always listen to it in Spanish. Okay, so you have to write an essay. Yeah, and in here you have what we're going to work in here: effective introductory and concluding paragraphs. You have written essays already, but now you're going to work on two things: the introductory and concluding paragraphs. Okay, here is the topic that you have to work with. Your class has attended a seminar on the benefits of training students to think positively. You have made the notes below. These are the notes. The benefits of training students to think positively: reduces stress, improves productivity, increases creativity. Those are so you have to pick up two of these and talk about them. The same thing that you did in the test. You pick up two and you talk about them. And you can use these opinions, but with your own words. Here you have some opinions. For example, read the first one, Ricardo. Training.
Some opinion. The training is empowering. I feel I can achieve so much more.
Okay, Macarena, the next one.
Having a positive outlook helps people to put their problems into perspective.
Okay, Camila?
It gives people the tools they need
The
to
tools,
find.
not the tools, the tools.
It gives people the tools they need to find alternative solution to their problems.
There,
There.
simply isn't there, it's their problems, all right? So you can pick one of those and use them, but not exactly the same way, but you can change some ways, okay? So what you have to do, this is the task. Write an essay for your tutor, discussing two of the benefits in your notes. You should explain which benefit you think is more important, giving reasons to support your opinion. You may, if you wish, make use of the opinions expressed during the seminar, but you should use your own words as far as possible. So you have to write an essay of 220, 260 words, okay? And in here, you have two paragraphs, like an introductory paragraph. One of them, it was better written, okay? It's more complete. So you can use part of this and then develop your own essay, okay? You can take notes, etc., etc. So this is going to be for, let's see, today is, let's leave it for next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, all right? You have to hand it in next Tuesday. You send it to me to my, you can send it to the classroom or you can send it to me. You have to do it because in that way I can give you feedback and correct what you are writing. And to let you know if you're right, the thing that you're writing is correct or not. Okay, so it's necessary for you to do it. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But if you don't do it, you're not going to have any feedback, right? So I think it is better to do it. Okay, so that would be all for today. But first, I have to tell you something. This Friday, I have problems, so I won't be able to teach you that day. Okay, but you have to recover that class. I know that it's not your fault, my problem. Okay, so but I mean, it is necessary to have the class. So we can have it in two ways. You decide. It could be next Monday. Yeah, could be next Monday. But anyway, I'm not sure. Probably they are gonna make it a holiday, I think, next Monday. Yeah, because they are now.
I have the class.
You have classes Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, next Monday, I think it's gonna be. It might be modal verb. It might be remote possibility, but it's a possibility that they make a new law about the native peoples of the country, and they are going to celebrate that day on June, but I don't know if it is this Monday or next Monday. Or the other possibility could be that, for example, speaking test, we can do it one day that is not a class. So in that way, taking the speaking to another, for example, on a Wednesday, we or any of the tests, we use the class and we don't lose a class, and we move a test on Wednesday. In that case, we are, not losing the class. What do you think? Would it be that better?
Yes, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to decide one of the tests is going to be in a different day.
Sir.
You have problems.
Yes.
Wednesday
I have
also?
a class all the week, but you recording the class. For me, no problem.
Record the class, yeah, but the test would be a problem. Let me think about it. But in the meantime, we are not having classes this Friday, okay? Friday, not Thursday. Thursday, we're going to have classes, but Friday, we are not having classes. So forget about this Friday. And then we will see one day in which maybe at the end of the semester, we can have a one recovering class, or we can take a test on a different day. Those are the two possibilities. All right. So that's it. That would be all for today. Any questions so far? No? Is it clear? Okay. So see you on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Macarena, do you know anything about Tamara?
I speak in the morning.
You spoke to her.
I
in the
spoke,
morning.
yes, I'm sorry.
And she hasn't come to classes since a long time. Tell her that I'm worried
I
about
don't
her.
know.
Tell her that I am worried about her. No, I don't know what is happening to her. Okay, that's it. See you then next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Okay.
See you,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Voy a llamar a la